Hello, my most amazing artists. I'm so sorry I can't be there with you today to either start or finish your portfolios if you weren't here on the first day of art class or if you just didn't finish. So last week in art, we made a portfolio where we took a big paper the color of your table, folded it in half by matching up those corners and pressing down to crease the paper, and that makes a folder with the open side up so our papers don't fall out. The only requirement for this portfolio, which is just a fancy word for a folder or collection of your art, is that you have to have your name on it. As long as your name's on it and you make it into art, that's all that you have to have on it. But I really want you to take your time and make this your best work because it's going to be your portfolio or folder that you use all year long in art. You'll take them home at the end of the year when it's full of all your art. So you want to do your best work to decorate it with the things that you love on it. But it does have to have your name. So if you were doing the bubble letters, there's a bubble letter drawing guide on the back table you could borrow that reminds you how to do those, or the name illustration where you change your letters into pictures, or just write your name, outline it with Sharpie, and then focus on drawing your favorite things. No matter what you do, you should probably sketch first with pencil because if you make a mistake, you can erase. But if you use a marker and you make a mistake, you cannot get a new paper. You have to either turn it into a happy accident or flip it over to the other side. So I'm using pencil first to sketch out my ideas of my favorite different things. I've got that flower with the smiley face on it, inspired by an artist. I've got Stitch, I've got Mickey, thinking of all my favorite things. Now, of course, this is super fast forwarded. You should have had time last week to sketch out all of these ideas, and you're probably just working on outlining with Sharpie today. If you're outlining with Sharpie, please make sure you put the caps on when you're done, and if for some reason your Sharpie is running out of ink, we'll switch it out and put one of the bad ones in the recycle bin and get a new one. It's important to outline all of your pencil lines with Sharpie so that we can see all of your awesome drawings. If you only draw with pencil and then color over it, you're not going to be able to see your drawings or whatever you wrote on there on this darker colored construction paper. Even my yellow paper is difficult to see my pencil lines, especially at the other table team colors like red, orange, green, blue, and purple. They're even harder to see the pencil lines. So definitely outline everything with the Sharpie marker, which is going to make it fun because it turns it into a coloring book for you to have fun coloring. Hopefully today we can finish these up and get them all colored. Remember, if you borrowed anything like the drawing guides from the back table or any art supplies from the art cart at the makerspace with the choice area, always make sure you return the things that you borrow. Otherwise, all the supplies that you should need, like I have right now, should be under your table on your table team cart. So if you finish the front of your portfolio, you could also flip it over and design the back cover of your portfolio. I'm sketching out our beachside sea turtle using another one of those drawing guides that are available for me to use today, going step by step, not drawing on that laminated shiny paper, but just trying to follow the steps the best I can. As long as I did my best on my portfolio, that's all I ask. Then you're going to get to have a little bit of free draw time after that. But I'm going to do my best to design the front and the back since I have the extra time to do it. These are the only days that we have to work on our portfolio. We're going to be moving on to big projects starting next week when I'm back. So please do your best work on here. If you wanted to design the back too, I cannot wait to see what kinds of things that you create on there. I decided to make my beachside sea turtle holding a paintbrush and a paint palette, and I think I'll do more bubble letters because I love bubble letters to write beachside art. So make sure that everything is pencil, then Sharpie, erased, and colored in. When it comes to coloring, you have a variety of options. You can either use the markers and colored pencils that are on your art cart under your table, or you could go visit the art cart makerspace in the back of the room where I have supplies that you can borrow and return. On this cart, you'll find some paint sticks. You'll also see some brand new boxes of some fancy new supplies. If you're borrowing anything from the back table, just make sure you return it better than you found it. Always snap the caps to markers. And I do suggest borrowing those construction paper crayons. They show up really good on this construction paper. You're going to see that I borrowed some brand new construction paper crayons. They're the crayons with the black wrapper that are in the box, and I use them to color in my letters on my portfolio. You'll see that these worked really well and really show up bright, more like paint or oil pastels. These ones with the black wrapper are made for this. That's why they end up looking good on this. Also blend really well together. So I'm blending like some white on top for that highlight, and I can mix colors. When you're sure you've done your best work and put your portfolio in the middle basket of your table and put away anything you borrowed, then you can come over to this table at the back of the room and choose one of these early finisher activities. It says finish your portfolio, choose one of these. Before you ask your guest teacher, no, the other stations are not open today. We are not going to the centers that we did not talk about in the beginning of this video. Today you're finishing your portfolio, then putting it in your basket, and then you can go grab one of those early finisher papers when you're all done. I decided to grab the self-portrait one first that says first day of art class, even though it's not my first day of art class. You can put your age, your name, and you could either put this in your portfolio when you're done with it or not done, or you could take it home with you. Just please make sure that all papers either go home or go inside your portfolio. The portfolio stays in the basket in the middle of your table, and any other papers that you do, you need to either put in your portfolio or have them in your hands ready to go by the end of art class. If you're drawing a self-portrait, pay attention to where I have the colors of the world crayons with different skin tones in them that could be helpful for drawing or coloring your self-portrait. Anyway, I'm done with that one for today, so I'm going to go grab one or two, because I can get one of each different type of the Nike shoe design. This is where you can design your own Air Force One sneaker. So I'm going to make my dream Air Forces, which would probably be, let's see, some rainbow tie-dye ones. I've never seen ones like that. So I'm going to use all my favorite different patterns, colors, textures. You can design these as crazy as you want. This is a really fun activity, and I really can't wait to see what you create. If you decide to leave them in your portfolio, that's great, but I know some of you might be excited to take these home, and that's fine with me. Just make sure that you have your name on them, and that any supplies that you use, you put the caps back on if it's a paint stick or a marker or Sharpie, and you return everything that you've borrowed. So if you borrowed anything from that back table, like the paint sticks, please return them when you're done. I really expect my art room to be left exactly as I found it, and I tried really hard to give you all kinds of awesome things to keep you making art while I'm gone. I cannot wait to see what you create when I come back, artists. You are doing a fantastic job today, and your table looks like this. You could earn a sand dollar at the end of class for standing behind your push-in chair with everything in the right spot on your art cart. I mean, pencils with pencils, Sharpies with Sharpies, coloring supplies with coloring supplies, and everything cleaned up. Spray bottles only being used to spray tables. And that is all. I hope you get a sand dollar, and I'll see you next week, artists. Have fun.